following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of MLW Kings of Colosseum 2024. Bro, okay, there's a reason why this review is so late on our channel. First and foremost, right up front, somebody compromised our Gmail account, which has, I guess, by the time this goes up, because at the time of recording this, we still don't have access to our YouTube channel. It's going to take another few days. So in total, it might be about like 9 or 10 days that we're going to go without posting any content. So we do apologize, but there's not much we can do about it. You know, some fuckface had to take our Gmail, change the password. Now they've been locked out of the account, but then they've been using our passwords on other things. Bought some stuff for Counter-Strike on Monet's Steam account. Bought some headphones off my PayPal. Fuckhead. If you see this, fuck you, you fucking douchebag. I don't care if we can't monetize this video now that I've sworn. You're a fucking cunt. You're a low-life piece of shit, bro. Anyway, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled WZWA Network, you know, from here on. Anywho, first Major League Wrestling pay-per-view of the year, and it's somewhat of a new era for MLW, as it's the show where Matt Riddle and Sami Callihan come back to MLW. Richard Holiday returns. It's a stacked show. I just wish Zeta was on the card, that's all. I'm going to be going on and on about her the whole show. Starting off, though, 6-man tag team matchup. Alec Price and Wasted Youth, which is Dylan McKay and Marcus Mathers, take on Griffin McCoy, TJ Crawford, and Tony Deppen. I couldn't possibly tell you the background to this one. I know Wasted Youth are able to get an MLW World Tag title shot in the future, and Tony Deppen has become quite the dastardly heel in MLW. This is your high-flying opener that everyone comes to expect on any given Major League Wrestling card. With the lawsuit with WWE being over, both sides settling, I really hope that gave MLW a big influx of care, which might help them grow in size. Alec Price, from the get-go here, lots of talent, athleticism. Only second time I've seen him and Wasted Youth perform. Wasted Youth, though, get in the gym, boys. I know, don't body shame. I'm not body shaming. I'm just saying you have a better effect if you just a bit more work, just a little bit. You look a bit soft. Sorry. Now, there was an assisted powerbomb instigated by Tony Deppen by him and his boys that was absolutely dreadful. Come on, guys, don't overcomplicate things when it's supposed to be simple. We don't need 3 people doing a sit-out for a triple powerbomb. Deppen and his boys started to close in. The referee, as far as I'm concerned, needs to show that he gives a damn that there's people in the ring that shouldn't be there. I get it. People have spots, but come on, show that you're a bit frustrated that you can't keep this under control. They all started exchanging finishing moves. Then there was a huge double powerbomb by Wasted Youth, as Alec Price hit a double blockbuster at the same time. This match does come across super choreographed. Alec Price was the standout, though. Loved the finish. One of the guys from Wasted Youth hit a shooting star, followed by his partner hitting a 450 splash, and they picked up a pretty big win. So they're looking strong before their inevitable MLW World Tag Team title match. So they win in 9 minutes 47. Right, so I was concerned about Zeta not being on the card. Never mind. She is here and she's on the mic backstage. She's got all that sass. That's what I like about her, amongst other things. Mr. Thomas, Mr. fucking Thomas, greets her at the door and she wants the inside scoop from Alex Kane on the main event later on. Alex Kane comes out, says what he wants to say about Richard Holiday. Zeta storms off angry as Alex lays it all out there. The facial expressions from Zeta were absolutely tremendous. Coming up next, MLW Women's World Featherweight title. Janai Kai with Selena De La Renta taking on Hyper Misao. Hyper Misao is the next challenger. Another representative from Japanese Joshi Wrestling Company, TJPW, a part of the open door policy with MLW. This is Janai's fourth defense of the Featherweight Championship since winning it 85 days prior. So Masao has a superhero gimmick. And Janai Kai is so interesting looking. I wanted to search what she looks like when she's not wrestling. And when she doesn't have the makeup on, she's actually quite very, very pretty. With the makeup, I don't know what that makeup does, but it makes it look like she's from another planet. Like if someone said, yeah, she's actually from like Mercury or whatever. I just didn't want to say Venus because it's so typical. But yeah, if someone said she's from Neptune, mate, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I see that. And she's had a great run as champion so far. I love the kicks, bro. I love the kicks. I would really like to see Zeta challenge her for the title. Again, I'm going to keep... It's going to be like the Zeta and MLW Kings of Colosseum review. I wouldn't be surprised if the World Titan Federation end up with all the titles at some point. I don't think they have any at this time. Masao copped a bit of heat before her comeback, where she rode her bike around the ring and hit a clothesline on Janai, which was ridiculous. And fun. MLW really starting to remind me a little bit of ECW now. Masao locked in a crossface chicken wing as Selena got on the ring apron and went to throw powder in Masao's face, but Selena got sprayed in the face with some sort of can of stuff. And then Selena De La Renta was wiping her face with cash at ringside. That's just, come on. Money means that little to her. Hyper Masao then got clocked and was made to tap out by Janai. So she continues her reign, wins in 7 minutes, 15 seconds. Let's keep going. Great little show. Keep going. MLW World Tag Team titles on the line here. The second gear crew, one called Manders and Matthew Justice, the champions defending against World Titan Federations, Josh Bishop and Tom Lawler, with Saint Laurent at ringside. So the World Titan Federation are clearly the new thing now. They're trying to run roughshod over the company, and claiming the World Tag titles will be a good move, as they've still got no championships within their stable, as I said. Tables were introduced early on as it's an all-out brawl with the teams on the outside. Thankfully, Mr. Saint Laurent came out, and guess what he did? He did me a solid, bro. He brought Zeta out with him. Thank you. Thank you. Zeta, Team Zeta all day. I need a shirt that says Team Zeta. As soon as I see her doing anything, I am entertained. Bishop and Manders are chopping each other over and over and over and over. The use of the weapons is really making this feel like ECW for me. I think if MLW go down that route a bit more, it will be a good style of identity to adopt. More foul language may be needed. The World Titan Federation were taking solid control of the matches at War On. See, the World Titan Federation kind of, almost in a little way, reminded me of the network in ECW when Don Callis was being a pain in the ass. It's kind of almost similar-ish. Anyway, Justice and Manders took advantage and set up double doors and 2 sets of 2 chairs. And I was like, how the hell is that going to work? So they got some chairs. They got a door, I guess, placed on one, and then they put other chairs on top, facing the other direction, but the door's balancing on the top of the frame of the chair as they're facing outward. And I'm like, this isn't going to work, because look, I did backyard wrestling for 18 years, okay? Doors now suddenly are the in thing with pro wrestling. We use doors all the time and called them tables. We never had tables. There's no tables near us here in Perth, Western Australia. But we go around when there's like roadside collection, throw out your shit. And we'd always grab doors if we found them. I'm like, bro, we got some doors for the show. So I knew when they set that up, because you know what? Because of my experience in backyard wrestling and the usage of doors and trying to figure out how to set them up, I've done stuff like that before, and I've known it's to fail. So if I was there, I would have said to them, boys, don't do it like that. It will fail. And it kept falling off. The doors have been set up twice, and then they bump in the ring and it completely falls apart. And I would also say, okay, if you're setting it up that way, boys, and that's the only way you can do it, just set it up and then do the move when you're going to do it straight away. Don't do bumps in the ring because it's just going to make the door topple off the top of the chairs. I knew that straight away. You know, that's what backyard wrestling's done for me, is give me knowledge on stupid stuff like that. Okay. Zeta got involved and actually got in the ring, and I laughed so hard when Manders just clotheslined the living hell out of her. Poor Zeta. Then she got carried backstage, which really hurt my heart. Manders then got the razor's edge over the top rope to the outside through a table. That was nuts. Zeta, sorry, not Zeta. Justice was then getting set up to go through these doors, but Lawler got shoved off by Justice, and he went through a table on the outside, which I did not realize was set up, so that was a nice surprise. Justice then hit a Death Valley driver off the top, and it didn't end up breaking the fucking doors at all. And I was like, fuck, for Christ's sake. If only I was there, I could have told them. It's not going to work that way, brother. You should have just had the two chairs inward. It needed to be out a little bit further, and you would have nailed it, bro. It's okay, though. After the match, Bishop attacked with a door, and they made it seem like that they still wanted those tag titles. So Second Gear Crew still champs in 15 minutes 40 seconds. Let's move forward again. Excuse me. MLW National Openweight title match is a Taipei death match. Ricky Shane Page versus Akira. For weeks, Akira and Ricky Shane Page of the Calling have been butting heads ever since Akira lost the MLW World Middleweight Championship at Slaughterhouse last year against Rocky Romero on October 14th. It came to a head at the following MLW Fightland event where the Calling lost the MLW World Tag titles to the Second Gear Crew. After the match, Page and the rest of the Calling attacked Akira and they kicked him out of the fucking group. On the season finale of Fusion, Akira challenged Page to no avail. He was beaten quite easily. Then he got beaten down afterward, but he managed to hit a low blow on RSP. On December 19th, they announced that the rematch would take place at this show, Taipei Death Match, the match that was made famous by Ian and Axel Rotten. Akira charged out there and had enough of waiting and wanted to get to the match as soon as possible. RSP and Akira began to brawl to start this fight. RSP took advantage as he threw Akira through a door in the corner. I like it. Akira bleeding already. We already need some close-ups of the fist covered in glass, though. RSP was just beating the crap out of Akira early on. Lost my spot. Akira was in a world of hurt and had a piece of door smash on his head so well that his head popped through it. Great effect. This match is like watching a bully constantly beat up the little guy. No matter what the little guy does, he just can't match up to the bully. Akira got in a Luthez press and his punches have led RSP to be bleeding too. I have to admit, though, it's pretty obvious when they're blading. It was really obvious that both of them were blading. Maybe it's just because I know how it's done, but to me, it was a bit blatant. RSP hit a huge superplex followed by a massive splash off the top rope. Becoming a big fan of Ricky Shane Page, to be honest with you. Loving the character, loving his work. Raven effect out of nowhere. Then he emptied a bucket of open glass on Akira, set up a table over Akira, and then he hit a senton off the top through the glass table, and Akira kicked out. This has become a bloodbath. Sabi Callahan then got involved as Akira was about to finally end it once and for all, and hits a Raven effect on Akira, and RSP retains. So Sammy has joined the Calling. And I think Akira will continue his plight. He might have to get some backup, bro. It'll be interesting to see him try and get his revenge after this, after copping so many losses for some time here. But I'm liking that they're building their heat like a hot air balloon. They're not just like, you know, a lot of companies do that. So Ricky Shane Page retains in 12-23 via pinfall. Coming up next, Love is Blind match. Brett Ryan Gosselin taking on Love Doug. For several months, Love Doug has attempted to attract the attention of Becca with unsuccessful results. On their Thanksgiving special, Doug seemed to think that he was going to get an invitation to a little bit of a rendezvous. However, it turned out that the invitation was sent by Brett Ryan Gosselin, who was Becca's boyfriend. Gosselin will take the opportunity to bludgeon Doug with a crowbar, by the way, leaving him bloody with multiple injuries to the face. On the 13th, it was announced on the website that Love, Doug, and Gosselin will compete in a Lovers Blindfold match at Kings of Colosseum. I thought Becca was going to get involved in this, and she didn't. So I thought it was going to be interesting how they pull it off. I've seen a blindfold match a few times as a fan. I think Triple H versus D'Lo Brown is my favorite one I've seen. They couldn't find each other as is tradition with a blindfold match. They finally touched. Then they both ducked and clothesline attempts, and then double clotheslined each other. Gosselin pulled up the blindfold and then hit Doug with brass knucks. But then an Asai DT from Love Doug out of the blue won the match. I didn't write many notes here. I'm sorry. I don't know where the angle goes from here. Love Doug gets the win. Doesn't get the girl, though. I was surprised Becca didn't get involved at all. So I'm guessing the angle is over here. Doug wins in 3:22. Mystico is announced to perform at Super Fight on February 3rd. That's the original Sin Cara. We're making a big deal out of this. So I hope to see the best of him, because when he was Sin Cara, Anyway, let's get to a main event of the evening here. World title on the line. Alex Kane with Mr. Thomas takes on Richard Holiday with Saint Laurent and no Zeta. So that already gives marks against this match. After Alex successfully defended the title against Cardona, Kane called out anyone and Holiday appeared. His first appearance in MLW since June 2022. Saint Laurent then told Holiday he would offer him a world title match if he joined WTF. Holiday accepted and joined. I've heard a lot about Richard. I've never seen him perform. There's a feeling out process to begin. I'm like, Kane's going to retain. But I think it won't be long till that World Titan Federation have all the titles. I keep stumbling over my words lately. I even just stumbled over the word stumbling. And I think, of course, Zeta needs to be featherweight champion. The featherweight is clearly the future of MLW. Come on. I'm watching Richard Holiday perform, and I'm trying to figure out what it is about him that WWE didn't want. Richard's like the indie Austin Theory, and that's a compliment. Honestly, I mean that. Striker was like, no, on a 2 count. He did a good job as a heel here, although he got in trouble later for something he said in Matt Riddle's match. The referee copped it, and Holiday was tapping. Alex looked close to winning. Alex and Josh Bishop interfered, but Alex Kane won in 13:55. Next, we get a segment. Satoshi Kojima was brought out to the ring. He's named the new #1 contender for the world title. It's revealed by Joe Dombrowski. For those that may have forgotten, Kojima was the first ever MLW world champion in 2003 during the first era of MLW. Satoshi got in the ring and threw out bagels to the crowd, which was rather funny. Sami Callihan interrupted as Satoshi started talking. Sami did a great job here. Great promo voice. It's a signature of his now. That's what I want to see, Sami. Some foul language as well, as he says it's bullshit that Satoshi's being made #1 contender. Sami spat water in Joe's face. Security rush out to split up the brawl between Callihan and Kojima. That's how you start an angle, bitch. Singles match, main event of the evening. Jacob Fatu versus Matt Riddle. Riddle was recently released by the WWE, as we know, and he's back in a company he used to work for, MLW. This match was put together as somewhat of a dream match between Riddle and the former MLW World Champion, Jacob Fatu. So it should be interesting. The ex-WWE guy coming in, is he immediately going to go over, or does he walk in and get humbled? Riddle really was on the cusp of something in WWE there. You've got to be honest. He went over Rollins and everything on pay-per-view, and then he just fucked it up royally. I don't know what was going on with him, but geez, bro. Fatu was in charge early, hit a nice suicide dive, not tope suicide. I'm getting sick of that shit. Riddle one-upped him with the floating bro. Fatu then caught a floating bro in midair and hit a sit-down power bomb, dickhead. This was really back and forth between them. Riddle hit a twisting senton again. Then he and Jacob ended up shouting oos and then bro back and forth at one another. Riddle caught him in a triangle choke, reversing a moonsault, which was insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. I'm really tired. I just did a 12-hour shift. So yeah, Jacob kept getting choked by Riddle, but Jacob got out of it. He let his guard down for too long though, and Riddle made him tap to an arm lock / choke. This was a great match. Surprised I said that because I really didn't like Riddle for ages. Then I started liking him. Then I started disliking him again. Now I like him again. It's a roller coaster of bro. That's terrible. So who knows where either of them go next? I would be surprised if Riddle turned heel and joined the World Titan Federation to take the belt of Alex Kane. Book it, bitch. Matt Riddle in 1228. So there we have it. I'm loving MLW right now. It's like the 2024 version of ECW. Great stories. Zeta, a solid sports presentation. Zeta and Zeta. Looking forward to MLW Reload. It's great to be excited about wrestling for once. Thank you for joining me here at the WZWA Network for my review show here of MLW Kings of Colosseum. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it very, very much. So thank you for bearing with us during our little break here, our little hiatus, due to a certain piece of fucking work out there that decided to hack our shit and buy some Counter-Strike shit and some headphones, dipshit. Fuck you. If I ever find you. Anyway, okay. Karlifornia, WZWA Network. Please check out the Slam Society, our Patreon. Check us out, ProWrestlingTees.com. Our store is Thunder Mifflin. Karlifornia, once again, how many times do I have to tell you? Shit. My name's even, like, is it there or is it down low? I can't remember. Thanks for joining me, though. And we'll see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.